Hi, Shelley from Spin Cushions here. Today I'm going to show you how to make this square from my Siren's Atlas collection. It's called Sargasso. It's pretty straightforward, a couple of little interesting techniques. I like how it changes shape. We've sort of got our star shape here, and we've got like a square, and then on the angle it turns back into a square again. Yeah, a bit of fun to do. A few different fun techniques. So let's get started. Okay, with your hook and yarn, you can either start with a magic circle or chain 4 and join that strip of 4 into a loop. I like to start with a magic circle. Okay, so our first instruction is to chain 3 starting chain, which is standard if you're starting with a treble crochet UK, double crochet US, but I like to do a false stitch instead. I just think it looks heaps better. You can do the chain 3 if you like, or you can look up how to do my false stitch on my YouTube channel. So now I need to do 2 trebles, UK doubles US. 1, 2, pardon my computer making noises. Now I need to chain 2, double crochet UK, single crochet US, then chain 2, and we're going to do 3 trebles UK doubles US. 1, 2, 3. So that's our repeat. Chain 2, stitch, chain 2, 3 stitches. I'll do all that and come back and show you how to finish off the round. Okay, so I've done all of my repeats. I've got 4 groups of 3 stitches and 4 lots of chain 2, single stitch, chain 2. So now I need to close off my magic circle, and we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of your 3rd chain if you did a starting chain, or if you've got a false stitch, into the top of that false stitch, which has 2 little loops that we can work into, just with a slip stitch. Okay, now, so you can see we've got a little, almost like a 4-leaf clover shape. Okay, now the next round we're going to be doing, over these 3 stitches, we're going to be doing a cluster stitch, stitching 3 stitches together, and doing a few other different things. But for the first one, because trebles are worked from the top down, we either need to do chain 3, which I will do. I'll just show you what it looks like, and then we're going to treble crochet 2 stitches together, or double crochet 2 stitches together if you're in the US. So you begin 1 stitch and stop there, then you begin a 2nd stitch, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's our very first one. It's a little different because we have to work our way up. So if you were doing it with the starting chain, you would do it like this, but when you came to join up, instead of joining to the top of your 3rd chain, you would join to the top of this cluster here. That will just make it look much more seamless. I'm actually going to show you an alternative way to that. Okay, so I can use my false stitch as part of a cluster as well. So all I do is begin my false stitch, but I don't finish it, and then I'm still holding on to that quite tightly. Begin a 2nd stitch and begin a 3rd stitch. Now this is where I let go, yarn over and pull through all of those loops on the hook, and I have got a 3 stitch cluster instead of a chain 3 and a 2 stitch cluster, which means it's going to blend in with the others much more seamlessly. So it's up to you which way you want to do it. That's just the way I like to do it. Okay, now the next instruction is to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip this 2 chain space, and this little stitch down here we're going to do a front post treble or front post double around. So just put your hook in those 2 chain spaces and make your stitch. Then we're going to chain 3. We're going to skip the 2 chain space and we're going to crochet these next 3 stitches together. So treble crochet 3 together UK, double crochet 3 together US. So you begin 1 stitch, begin a 2nd stitch, begin a 3rd stitch, then yarn over and pull through all loops on the hook. So that's our repeat. I'll come back and show you how to join up here in a moment. Okay, so I've finished my repeats. Now all I need to do is join with a slip stitch to the top of our cluster. So it's either the top of your 2 stitch cluster if you've done the starting chain, or if you've done the false one like me, then just the top of the cluster. Okay, so that's that part. So the next round, if you're changing colours, just finish off and attach your yarn to the top of any other cluster. So we finished this bit. Now we're going to go make our square on the, well, something like a diamond. Okay, so the first stitch is a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the same space as our slip stitch, so the top of that cluster. Okay, now in this 3 chain space we're going to do a double crochet UK, single crochet US, a half treble UK, half double US, a treble UK, double US, then a half double treble UK or a half triple US. So it's just like doing the next stitch up, but you just yarn over and pull through 3 loops when you get there. Then in the next stitch we're going to do a double treble UK, a triple US, then we're going to work our stitches back down again. So a half double treble UK, half triple US, a treble or a double, half treble or half double, then a double or a single, and in this cluster space we're going to do the next stitch, a double UK or single US, and that's our repeat. They do that all the way around. I'll show you what to do when we finish this round. Okay, so I've made my way all the way around. It looks like we're in the middle of a side now, but as you know, we're going to start going square again with our next round. So first thing we do to finish off this round is just join with a slip stitch to that first stitch. Okay, so if you're changing colours, just finish it off there and just attach your yarn to any of those stitches in the middle along the sides there. Okay, I'm not changing colour. I'm going to do, well, chain 4 is the starting chain for this one because our stitches in this stitch are double trebles UK or triples US. I'm just actually going to do a bigger false stitch. So let's wrap my yarn around twice. Through 2. I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to skip the next stitch and do a treble UK, double US in the next stitch. I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the next stitch, which should be the tallest one. Then I'm going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and do a treble in the next, or a double UK, US, sorry. I'm going to chain 2, skip 1 stitch, and do a double treble UK or a triple US in the next stitch. Right, so that is our repeat. I'll do that and I'll show you how to join up back around here. Okay, so I've done all of my repeats. I just need to join with a slip stitch to the top of my false stitch. Joining with a slip stitch. So there we go, that is round 4 done. Now round 5, we're going to be working into these tall stitches, we're going to be working 7 treble UK or 7 double US, but we're going to start in the middle. We're going to finish it off at the end. So I'm going to do my false stitch, or you can do your chain 3. And then we need to do 3 in the same space as our slip stitch, so in that stitch down below. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to leave that corner now. We're going to do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the 2 chain space. We're going to twice, we're going to do the next thing, which is a stitch in this stitch and then 2 in the 2 chain space. So that's the first one of that mini repeat. A stitch in the stitch, 2 in the 2 chain space. Excuse the noises from my children. Okay, then we're going to do a stitch in the next stitch, 1 DC UK single crochet US in the next 2 chain space. Then we're going to do 7 trebles or doubles in the next stitch. This is our corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's our repeat. I'll work my way around and show you how to finish off. Right, so I've worked my way all the way around. The last thing I need to do is finish off this corner by doing 3 stitches in the same space as our first, which is pretty clear. You can see there. 1, 2, 3, and we join with a slip stitch to our first stitch, either the false treble or the 3 chain. And that is that for round 5. Okay, now next round we're going to do 2 double crochets UK, single crochets US in the same space as our slip stitch. So that's 1, that's 2. We're going to do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the next 3 stitches. 2, 3. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this stitch, which will be the one in that stitch from round below, we're going to do a half treble UK, half double US. I'm going to chain 4 again. We're going to skip these stitches down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do a double crochet UK, single crochet US in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Now our corner this round is 3 double crochets UK, single crochets US, all in the same stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3. So that's our repeat for this round. I'll come and show you what to do when you finish off. Okay, I've finished my repeats. Now I need to do 1 stitch in the same space as our first stitches. Now the best way to look for that is look for the second stitch. It's a bit easier. So see that's the second stitch there, that's the first stitch. So we need to do a stitch at the base where that one is. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first one. Okay, so there you go. That is our round 6 done. All right, now we have, it starts out much the same this round. 2 stitches double crochets UK, single crochets US in the same space as our slip stitch. So in that middle, that first stitch of the last round. Then we're going to do a double UK, single US in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 4 stitches in the 4 chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stitch in the next stitch. Pesky stitch. Must have done that one tight. 4 stitches in the 4 chain space. 2, 3, 4, a stitch in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next stitch is our corner. You can see it's the middle one of the 3 stitches before. We're going to do 3 stitches in that stitch. Again, doubles UK, single US. 1, 2, 3. That's our corner again. So that's our repeat, a nice easy one. I'll show you how to finish off in a moment. Right, I've finished on my repeats. I just need to do 1 stitch in the same space as our first stitches, which is here. Then join with a slip stitch to that first stitch. Okay, now our last round is a treble crochet UK, double crochet US round. So we start off with a chain 3 starting chain or a false stitch and a stitch in the same space as our slip stitch. Then for the next 19 stitches we're going to do a stitch into the back loop only. You can see we've got 2 loops. We're only going to go into the back loop of the next 19 stitches. 1. So that's quite easy. Just angle your hook down the front and you're left with this nice little ridge on the front. So there's 19 of those. I'll pause it and show you what to do next. Okay, I've done my 19 stitches in the back loops only. You can see this nice little line of decorative stitches left by those front loops, because we only use the back loops. Okay, the next, our corner is in the next stitch, all in the next stitch, 2 stitches, trebles UK, doubles US, chain 1 and 2 stitches. That's our corner, all in the same stitch. Okay, so that's our repeat. I'll come back and show you how to finish off. Right, there we go. I've finished my repeats. I just need to do 2 stitches in the same space as our first stitches. So I'll have a look at that second stitch, and at the base of that will be a very tight little hole to work 2 more stitches. 1, 2. Now we're going to chain 1 and join with a slip stitch to our first false stitch or chain 3, third chain of your starting chain, and that is it. We'll slip off our yarn, you can weave in the ends, give it a block. Ooh, a bit of extra fluff I've picked up there somewhere. So there you go, we have Sargasso. Now, as you can see, probably, this one, when I do block it, is going to be slightly bigger than this one. This one's made with Bendigo Woolen Mills 8-ply cotton. This one's made with Cascade Ultra Pima cotton. They are equivalent yarns, but with all things, nothing is ever exactly the same. So as long as you use the same yarn and hook throughout, everything should be fine for you. If you do want to change the size of this one, if you want to make it a bit smaller, instead of doing trebles UK, doubles US, in this last round you could either do half trebles or half doubles, or doubles UK, singles US if it's a lot smaller, bigger, sorry. If it's just a little bit too small, I would probably just block it to size, or if it's more than a little bit too small, you could add a round of double crochet UK, single crochet US. Yes, but whatever you decide to do, give it a quick block because that will straighten everything out nicely as well. So there you go, Sargasso. I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you check out spincushions.com for more crochet fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye.